All Three Beards Media podcasts originate from the Gravitate Coworking Studio, sponsored by Revelton Distilling Company.
This Three Beards Media podcast may contain mature themes, and if you're not down with that, we got 3 words for you. Like the podcast. Nailed it!
Would you like to sample some of my nuts?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the STFU live recording event benefiting the Young Women's Resource Center. We are going to broadcast all of our Three Beards Media's podcasts, and we're going to start with Old Man Strength, but however, we're going to call an audible and bring in our co-host from Like Father, Like Daughter. Tim couldn't make it today to the event, so Caitlin, what's up?
What's up? Just here hanging out. Got pulled in. I got here and you're like, you're up.
I know. Well, we got to quickly pivot around here. So
Yeah.
So we brought our Gravitate studio on the road to our primary sponsor, Revelton Distilling Company. We're hanging out here. We're selling raffle tickets to win some prizes, to raise money for the Young Women's Resource Center. We are broadcasting live, so it's a beautiful little facility. They just opened up here about 2 minutes ago.
Yep.
So we're gonna get some drinks here and things like that. So I think what we'll do is we'll kind of talk a little bit on our episode of Like Father, Like Daughter. We talked about whether or not Die Hard was a Christmas movie or not. So we have decided. We went and saw the movie last night in the
We
theater.
sure did. We sure did.
So what was your initial thoughts on it?
All right. Well, every debate aside, I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I thought it was really good. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would.
Yeah.
It interested me to hear that there are more, and I would be interested to see the other ones. Now, is it a Christmas movie?
Okay. Now let's stop because while we were watching it,
Yeah.
I would nudge you and say, "It's Christmas music. It's a Christmas movie."
Okay, all right. And you also, but if we're going based off what we talked about on the podcast,
Yeah.
that if Christmas wasn't the central, like if you could take Christmas out of it and it's still a movie,
Yeah.
it wouldn't work.
Right.
And I figured out how it could work.
It can't.
It
Go ahead.
can.
I'll let you give your theory.
So you said that they would only be up there for that party
Yes.
if it was Christmas Eve.
It was a Christmas party.
Was it?
Yes.
Because when Bruce Willis walked into the room,
Yeah.
when John McClane walked in and met his wife's boss, he said, I thought the Japanese didn't celebrate Christmas. He goes, well, it's kind of a double celebration because of this huge milestone they hit. So, let's say they hit that milestone in July, they still would have had a party in July. And it would have been nighttime, the rest of the offices would have been closed.
Okay. So,
Okay, and
all right. Go ahead.
and you said John McClane was visiting because he was just visiting his kids and family for the holidays.
For Christmas, right?
Who's to say that he couldn't have been just visiting his kids and because he?
Because he hadn't been there for 6 months. The only reason he
Okay,
came
but
was-
no.
Go
I'm
ahead.
saying
Go ahead.
there are other there could have been a perfect set of circumstances on any other day. Christmas, there was going to be a party, and they could have found another reason for John to come home,
Okay.
to come to LA. Sorry, it's not home.
Okay.
Now, the Christmas references and the little music and stuff, I thought were cute add-ins to the movie. But again, I wasn't watching it sitting there going, I didn't get the same feeling I got when I would watch Elf or Home Alone, or I don't get that same Christmas magical feeling. I think also it's weird for me to watch Elf any other time of the year, but I don't feel like it would be weird for me to watch Die Hard any other time of the year.
Okay. So let's tackle them both.
Okay.
They would not be having. Well, let's back up to your premise that the Japanese is. First of all,
That wasn't my. That was not
but you're
my
using
saying that.
But you're using that as a reason.
I'm saying that the boss said
Right.
it's kind of a double celebration. I'm saying that either way, whether it was a holiday or not, there would have been a party for this milestone that this building hit.
I don't know
And that could
was
have
the-
happened on
I don't
any
know
day.
if that's the case because I've been in enough business and whatever that we close big deals, whatever. We don't have an afternoon, an evening party. Everybody comes up and they're catering food.
But they hit a really big
Okay,
deal.
I'm just saying, it was a Christmas party. And
I think it doubled as a Christmas
I
party.
read that it was Jewish who doesn't believe in Christmas. And we still had a Christmas party.
But I wasn't saying that the Japanese don't celebrate Christmas. I don't know enough about their culture to say. I'm saying that's what was said in the movie by the main
I
character.
think you're straight.
Why he was confused that they were having a Christmas party.
I think you think you're straight.
No, I don't think I am. He was confused why there was a party. He didn't understand.
No, that's not the case. He knew it was a Christmas party, and he was gone for 6 months. His wife had moved out for 6 months. If he could have just came for any old visit, he would have came. But he only came because it was Christmas time and he wanted to see his kids.
I think it could have been any visit.
Well, you can think all you want. But that's
I'm
not
saying
necessarily
though, the circumstances could have been the way. Are all the movies taking place on Christmas? Are all the Die Hard movies taking place on
Yes.
Christmas? No.
Well, no. I'm sorry. The second one.
Okay, but do 3, 4, and 5.
No.
Or are we not counting 5?
We don't count 5.
Okay, but 3 and 4, if it doesn't take place on Christmas, the Santa Claus has a trilogy of movies, and they are all around Christmas.
Well, that's clear.
So the Christmas Chronicles, any other Christmas movie that's a series takes place all around or on Christmas. Me too.
Yeah.
I'll cost you. Go tell Walker.
I'm just not buying it.
I'm saying any other Christmas movie that has turned into a series all took place and revolved around Christmas. If Die Hard the series isn't promoted as a Christmas series, then how can you argue that the first 2 movies in the series are strictly Christmas movies?
You saw Die Hard last night. You said it's not a Christmas movie.
Yes.
I sure
She's
did.
wrong. She's wrong.
Thank you very much.
No, I think I made a really good argument, and you don't know what to say other than to pull a Trump and go wrong,
Don't.
wrong. You don't even have a defense as to why my argument doesn't make sense. My argument makes a lot of sense.
Don't be. That's it. So, we
Official ruling,
okay.
not a Christmas movie.
Well, again, we are recording down here. Distilling Company we just opened up. So out and about, you want to come down. We're raising money for the Homeland Resource Center. We'd like to see a big crowd down here. So, what's your plans for the next week?
Hold on, I'm ordering a drink first.
Mobile ordering? Do we have mobile ordering?
No, it's Walker.
Oh, you're texting Walker.
Yes.
Yeah. What are the odds of
Pretty good.
Is he?
Yeah, easy.
We'll see. I doubt it.
That is solid.
No, he's pulling his wallet out, but he didn't look at his phone. So
I'll emphasize it.
there you go. How do you do that?
You just hold it down.
Yeah.
You hit more.
Shut up.
Oh wait, no. Hold on. You have to do it when you're sending it. So now when I send the text, I'm writing please,
Yeah.
PLS, and I hold down the arrow. I
Oh
slam it.
my God.
And hit
I'm gonna say
send.
that to the boys every time. I'm gonna do that to the boys every time.
Slam it.
So
You gotta
educate
for a
people on
type,
how to-
and before you gotta hold down the arrow, and then you can slam it loud, gentle, or invisible. You slam it.
No.
I don't
You
know.
gotta have a
You
fancy-
might be. There might be different features on here.
Gotta have a fancy iPhone.
He still hasn't checked his phone.
That's right.
Not up to date.
There you go. There you go.
Just the dinosaur.
So, that's right. We're getting a little bit of people in here. We're selling raffle tickets. We're giving away TV, giving away signed George Kittle jersey.
Yeah, I'm going for the Tibby and Revelton merch.
Yeah,
I saw a
right.
blanket in the
There's
merch.
the blanket, yeah.
It looks
They
pretty
gave us
darn
the blanket.
fuzzy, warm.
That's right.
Looks pretty darn good.
And then the Iowa Wild ticket package, ticket package, gift card.
Can you say wolves for the crowd again?
What's wrong with the way I said wolves? What's wrong with that?
Well, should we talk about the way we say different things?
Sure.
So do you know what always sticks with me in the story I tell people a lot is when you move to Arizona
Oh yeah, yeah.
and you little midway school.
It was the Iowa way to say
You
it.
wrote, and he was talking about how do you say the word wash?
Well,
Because
no.
my grandma.
No, I said the story is that I was in gym class and I said I wouldn't need to wash my gym clothes. And the guy next to me was like, "Did you just say wash?" And he was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Is there an R in that word that I don't know about?" And I was so mortified that to this day I say wash. I do not use it.
But grandma, that's how
Yep.
grandma said it. Grandma
That's how
said
grandma
wash.
ate.
She I'll wash your clothes.
Yep.
I don't know why we're not like that. Seems like almost like a southern thing.
Right.
We are not from the south, so who did we get that from?
Nope. There's our man Chris Delgardelle.
Chris, the
One
better
of our-
Chris has shown up. The party
The
can
better
start.
Chris. Oh my God.
I like it.
Nah, stop it.
Mm.
All right. So we're about 3 minutes away, and we're gonna our next podcast is gonna be Hot Mess Happy Hour. The main hot mess, Amy, is here. She's running our backpack auction, and she's gonna have Kimberly from the Young Women's Resource Center. So Kimberly at the Young Women's Resource Center, and about them. We're really proud. And it's one of the things that when Tim and Aaron and I started Two Gears Media, was one of the things that we wanted to do was to do some good
Give back.
and to give back and,
Yeah.
and things like that. So, and everybody knows this STFU segment that we had at on Old Man Drink was inspired by Steph Copley when she told Tim to fill the book up, which is my favorite story ever.
I don't know that I've heard this story.
Oh yeah, Tim wouldn't shut up, and Stephanie wanted to make a point, so she goes, "Tim, just shut the book up for a second."
Was this in the chat or
No,
on
it
the
was on the-
podcast?
it was on
Oh
the
my gosh,
podcast.
I missed
So
it.
we thought it was so funny that we made a sponsored segment called STFU, where we promote the.
Sweet.
So I think we're going to bring Amy on, and we'll bring Amy on, and then Kimberly from the Young Women's Resource Center, and then we are going to transition here. So we appreciate everybody coming on. We've got guys coming from the Hawkside View later, Side of the Storm. Ball Don't Lie is going to give their live circuit picks here in a little bit, and then Bill and I will hop on before it starts, and JT is going to be here for Bitter Units. So we are really excited to get going here, and we're going to go ahead and bring Amy on next. So we're going to transition. So you'll see us leave the table here a little bit, but in a couple minutes Amy will be here, and we will go from there. Thanks everybody. I appreciate you guys. Come on now. Yeah. Caitlin, do you want to run the raffle? Oh, Joseph.
Yeah. Can't forget that.
You're going to get on camera.
What?
You're going to be on camera.
I decided to disclose it.
And we have how long?
50.
Now you know the keys to everything.
I know the keys to the tablets.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, I'm going to put the opening, and then I'll point you when you guys are ready.
All Three Beards Media podcasts originate from the Gravitate Coworking Studio, sponsored by Revelton Distilling Company.
name is Amy, and I am with Happy Hour. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're live, and I have a special guest with us today, which is super cool. So this whole event is benefiting the Young Women's Resource Center in Illinois. And so Kimberly joining me today to tell us a little bit about Young Women's Resource Center, what they do, and everything like that. So we are selling raffle tickets. We have some really great prizes, so you'll definitely want to come out to Osceola, Revelton Distilling Company. But Kimberly, tell me about Young Women's Resource Center. When people buy the raffle tickets, what will that do for your organization?
Yes. Well, thank you, first thing, for having me. It's lovely to be here. To have a quick little drive down to Osceola. Revelton is lovely, and thank you for hosting, and a beautiful holiday scenery here. I'm the Senior Development Director at Young Women's Resource Center, and what Young Women's Resource Center does serves the greater Des Moines area. So it's not just Des Moines, we have the suburbs, but we provide services to girls aged 10 to 24. So we have an empowerment program. Middle school is a really, really tough time for girls. They tend to sit in the back of the class. They tend not to answer questions. So we teach them how to be leaders, how to be leaders. So that's kind of what we do in the middle. High school programs, we offer counseling, peer-to-peer, professional counseling. We did about 1,500 hours last year of free counseling in our facility. And then we have a Young Moms program. The Young Moms program, it's a difficult time for young girls and young women to become pregnant. Yeah. But we offer them resources. We have a clothing closet. We have a hygiene closet. We have a baby closet, which is formula, diapers, everything that you can imagine. That can be sometimes cost prohibitive when you're a young mom. Not necessarily things like WIC and assistance to pay for. So we offer that. And we do drives all year round. We also have a doula program. What a doula program is amazing. Yes. The doula program offers visits before birth and after birth. And that has a great success because the babies born in that program have 100% healthy birth weight, lower risk of cesarean sections, and so moms start out with a great advantage. And so today's money that benefits from the raffle will go to fund those programs.
That's amazing. How did you get involved with Young Women's?
Yeah, so I'm one of their new people. I've been there for about 2 months.
Okay.
And
Congratulations.
thank you. About 2 months in, and I'm the senior development director, which is just a fancy word for person who does fundraising.
Okay.
So I do community events like this. I go to corporations and meet with them and get them to, I like to say, people like to use the word donate. I like to say invest in young girls. I like that term better than donate because you're investing in the future.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So this whole, we got involved with Young Women's Resource Center through Stephanie Molly. So she was a guest on Old Man's Drink, which we just heard if you've been listening. So you just heard from them. She was a guest on there and she wanted to do and just listen. And that's super important to do that. You know, sometimes you just somebody who has a partner. That's all we do. Sometimes we just so they had a segment on it. I was a guest on there, and the first
Oh.
sports community. Did not let me do it. And so,
Yeah, that's a big issue.
Really appreciate but if you talk a lot about
Oh, so you guys are going to go off.
So we are on Facebook, Young Women DSM. We are on X, it's no longer Twitter. Twitter. Yes, YWRC. We're on Instagram at YWRC Girls. And then YWRC.org is our website where you can see links about our programs, links about how to get involved in doing like a clothing drive, a formula drive, a diaper drive, one of those drives. So there's so many ways to get involved. And I like what you said about your learned experience going through a divorce. What we want to help young girls learn is a lot about consent. It's a big thing we talk about. What you wear isn't consent. Going on a prior date isn't consent. Because it was yes once, it's only yes one time. So we want to help. So then hopefully when they grow up, when they become adults, they don't make some of the mistakes. I was divorcee as well. My goal is not like for young girls to be present, counted, and have a voice. We do. We have some great corporate sponsors. I was just at an event this week with Shields, the sports store. So they give, and then we have great corporate community members in the greater Toronto area. Kind of both the programming, but we also depend greatly on individual learners. And tis the season. This is the time of year when people are really giving. And so we hope when you sit down at your table or your office that young resource center comes to mind, and maybe we can be a part of your donation.
So you have any coming up?
Yeah, we have one of the students in Milwaukee, which is the school district right outside of Des Moines. They are doing a drive, but we also take donations, diapers, formula, wipes, clothing. We take that year round at our office on 5th Avenue. So just go on to ywrc.org. Our address is there, and you can drop off the donation year round. Donations are tax deductible, so that's an incentive. So people tend to this time of year, but we want to continue it year because there is a need year round.
So, any other last words or words you'd like to share with our listeners?
Yeah, if you're a listener from far away out of state, I heard that there was a Washington State. And we're the only organization in Iowa that's doing what we're doing. And we don't rely just on the goodness of Iowans. Everyone knows that Iowa has changed a little bit. The landscape is a little bit different. But yeah, I gotta wear the hat. You don't have to. I believe that Iowa's best days are ahead of us. And I believe it will always be like this. But we will rely on the generosity of people across the country to donate to us to fund us, to make sure that we can protect those. You're great. Fabulous. Oh, yeah.
Yep, and then ball don't lie, I'll hop on.
Just to tie a little bit reiterate generosity of listeners across the country. One thing that I particularly like about my role, I just want my focus on students that were in boys and girls. And right now it's hard. I couldn't say some of the things that pronouns, ethnicity, stuff like that, because that's the laws in the state. But now he's told me that we also, our organization, also helps people identify for those listeners out there, middle schools are really, really hard to find. And then when you have identity, things on top of that. But we welcome and we serve anyone who does identify or has been socialized to be as a group. So we're doing that for everyone out there. Because our goal is to protect girls even identifying. That in the landscape of Iowa right now. And so, we don't understand it. I'm not asking to be compassionate. It takes nothing to be compassionate. It's one of the easiest things we can do. Compassion and a little bit of grace.
Like I said, 5 minutes on that. A long exit. Oh, yeah. Tell them the ball don't lie, it'll be up in about 5 minutes.
We will our friends they will be here in about 5 minutes. It's really great, right?
Why take the best corn in the world and make it into fuel when you could make it into whiskey? That's the question that launched Revelton, Iowa's most visible and fastest growing distillery. Owners Rob and Christy Taylor embrace the grain-to-glass philosophy, sourcing ingredients locally and overseeing on-premises production and bottling at their facility in Osceola. One sip and you'll agree that Revelton's handcrafted whiskeys, gins, and vodkas are the best you've ever tasted. And with the launch of their rye whiskey, made with 100% Iowa-grown rye and corn, and their new bourbon coming soon, there's more Revelton to love than ever. Iowa's own Revelton Distillery. ReveltonDistillery.com. The great thing about working from home is working from home. The worst thing is working from home, especially for face-to-face collaborations with customers and coworkers. And let's face it, coffee shop meetings are neither private nor professional. So skip the trip to Starbs and investigate Gravitate Coworking Space. For more than 10 years, Gravitate has provided large and small office and conference spaces perfect for hosting meetings, workshops, or other events, as well as private phone booths for confidential conversations. Plus, all spaces include secure fiber internet, free coffee, and access to a kitchenette. All you need is your laptop. Gravitate does the rest. And renting space at Gravitate is surprisingly affordable. An hour of office space costs about the same as venti caramel macchiatos and breakfast sandwiches for two. Daily and monthly rates are also available with no long-term commitment. Learn more at gravitatecoworking.com. That's gravitatecoworking.com. All Three Beards Media podcasts originate from the Gravitate Coworking Studio, sponsored by Revelton Distilling Company.
Drop it.
Welcome to a special edition of the Ball Don't Lie podcast. I am Ted Hawley here, joined as always with Justin Snow. We are live at the Revelton Distilling Company. Justin, this place is very cool. Interstate, swing in, it's literally on the other side of the driver. That's a driver away from the casino. It's going to be hard to get past on the way home. Look, it's been a nice crowd here. Saw some raffle tickets and giving away some sample drinks here too. It's quite the party. It is very cool. We've only kind of seen the main room here too. We've got a merch shop. We're getting t-shirts way out of here. But it is very cool. And we are here raising money for the Young Women's Resource Center. So come buy some raffle tickets. There's some really cool prizes and giveaways. It's a very cool deal. Chris Spaghetti, producers in the house. Sean Roberts just walked in. It's been cool listening to all the other shows. So we are happy and blessed to be here. But for the first time this year, we actually talked about our circuit plays.
Right, we're going to reveal it.
It's revealing it.
7 months better.
It wasn't quite as hard this week for week 14. We had 2 or 3 games kind of flooded into us. We sit kind of one pick below that 16% line we put as our standard to get in here. I think what we're saying, 62% made the money last year.
Yep.
So we're right where we need to be. We just need a couple 4-1 finishes and be right in the mix. The one game we can just kind of kick off the start here with was the 49ers at -11. I think we both have -10, -10.5 for our individual cards. It was -11 on the circuit, and that becomes an easier pick for us because I think it's at -13.5 right now.
Yeah, Gino is highly questionable, and that was the main reason. We liked it anyway to begin with, and Gino obviously may not play with that situation, unless we might be in our favor.
Yeah, that one was a no-brainer. And even if Gino's playing, him and Drew Lock's not. It is a little bit of a drop-off probably, but it's not as crazy as it is for most teams. We talked a little bit about, earlier in the week that, look, he's not as bad as he was early on in his career with the Jets, but I think last year was his ceiling. Kind of played a little over his skis. The look I saw from Gino this year is probably more of what it truly is. He's the 25th to 35th best quarterback in the league. So I just truly think that this -11 becomes a no-brainer for us. So we go ahead and play it.
Second pick to be Rams +7.5 Baltimore. Typically like this one, and I did too. We've alluded to our Baltimore has this been a favorite. It's just a team. You just need to play against, right? It's not that they don't take out. They just rarely do. They play a lot of these games where they kind of play their style. The Rams are both favored to play top. So it's healthy. It's playing. They have weapons. They will. Could be a lot. Looks like
there's going to be a lot of weather. Yeah, look, the Ravens do blow teams out. Who did blow out? Detroit?
Detroit, yeah. That was -3 speed.
Yeah, and so these big lines for them is they seem to actually lose these football games.
You're right. It was a week. They lost like the Colts.
It was something weird.
They were -8 or something. Lost outright.
So getting +7.5 here, I think, is just get some serious value. This spread should probably be -6 or below. Probably below the touchdowns. I think we're getting decent value. The other thing about this line is it hasn't moved all week. It opened at 7.5, stayed at 7.5, and the juice has not moved either side either. -110 on those ones before we came on here too. So I think they got the line right here and had enough money from the Sharks to move either way. Now look, it's still over Saturday. Night tonight, early tomorrow morning, it could change. But I think we're on the right side of this. And look, the Rams, like you said, they're getting healthier too. Stafford's looking healthy. They got Kyron Williams back, and that's a pretty big. It's a huge addition. They tried to put all these guys off the couch in the mix with Royce Freeman and who else they brought in too. Well, they brought Henderson back. They cut him after a week or so.
Kyrie, he needs a lot.
Tristan Monahan and Danny House and Shane Beckett, they refer to Kyron as diet seat. Because he went there, he wore the cutoffs in college, and he kind of reminds me of the early season. I think the Rams are just
I like this versus like sneaky dog. Well, we got the last one.
Well, you're already
This isn't a sneaky dog. Last one was just we'll get into that. I kind of played this into what we like to do anyway. Rams at plus 7.5. The reason I also like that is none of the talking is maybe talking.
What's that?
If they are, it's been almost in passing, just assuming that the Ravens are going to win. And we like under the radar plays, and it certainly is. Yeah, our number 3 game is not on the radar. It's been the game everyone's been talking about all week, almost to nauseam. But it's the Cowboys versus Philly. It's Sunday night football. It's going to be all kinds of eyeballs. There's lots of money. I did see the juice just switch to minus 120 towards Philly. Even money at 3.5 for the Cowboys. So the only stat I saw from this game that was not for us was the play from the Cowboys. I forget the referee's name.
John,
I forget too. And Philly is 7-0 in games when he's roughing, and that is the only stat that I went, he's kidding me. But look, again, we talked about it on Thursday. It's not that we don't like Philly. This schedule is crazy back there. They are coming off a loss, but they're an older team. Dallas is playing a lot better right now. Brandon Cooks has settled in. Philly is just not as good as they were a year ago on the back end. From linebackers, especially in their secondary, they're just not as good. And I really think that I'm not the biggest stat guy, but he's playing his best football. I mean, he's a legit MVP candidate. And the one thing he is good at is pushing the ball down.
I feel like if you're in this game, I'll say Dallas' offense has been pretty good. And seeing him coming back really well to and Philly defense, when you look at the numbers, they just don't match up. They have a lot of guys that it just doesn't work. So Dallas defense, I feel like it's a good matchup. Yeah, we could be
It probably is, but I do expect them to win.
Yeah, but we talked about it too. There's something stuff too.
This is the one instance where I think this looks actually a good thing in our favor. I think Vegas is telling us what they really think here on this game. Now look, things change in the playoffs. Again, we don't need Philly's team. They're just a different team than they were a year ago. And
Dallas' defense is going to be able to slow down.
Sure.
Limit. First get the big things like Dallas has.
I'm not sure how I feel about it.
It's great.
He's got some Iowa Hawkeye TV and that ball.
It does.
He's got 5, 6 or 6.
Right spot, right time.
But yeah, look, we usually don't like playing these major market games, but this game just kind of stood out to both of us a little bit. I think it made my card. I can't remember who
It did. No, I just missed for me, but I lean the same way. So we kind of like having one. At least with the prime time games, we have that. We at least have that. Yeah, play 3 Cowboys, nice 3 Cowboys.
Our next play is actually a game that we did both agree on, and that is Buffalo plus 1.5 at Kansas City. We like the line there that under books or not, you're looking at anywhere from still Buffalo plus 1 some places, but it's pick 'em a lot of places too. So we are getting some value with this play. Look, the Bills are 6-6. It's been a weird season for them anyway. I'm not huge on it because Josh Allen has to do so much for the team. But Kansas City's good. And they just got some bad news. And Checo might be out for the season. I haven't heard a whole lot of injury and what it is yet. But that's a big deal for him too because he gets tough yards. So Clyde Edwards will be his backup in that. He took him in the first round, but he is now Checo. They're two very different backs. He'll play that role that Isaiah does. They are two completely different backs, and that is a huge downgrade for them. I'd expect McKinnon to be a little more involved in their offense now than maybe he has been in previous weeks. But this is a must-win for Buffalo. Buffalo is 6-6. With all these quarterbacks that are out in the AFC right now that would currently be in the playoffs to start tomorrow, it's wide open for the team, especially like sitting at 6-6 and those 7-win teams to where, I mean, look, Jacksonville just lost their quarterback. You don't know how long he's going to be out. The Bengals are playing with the backup in 6-6. The Steelers are 7-6 playing with the backup. The Bengals have, you said the Bengals already. The Browns lost Sean Watson because he's there with 7.
And they're really good.
So there's this laundry list of teams right now that are sitting with their backs,
Especially in the AFC.
especially in the AFC with these backup quarterbacks that are sitting in. It's a position to go. The Colts are 7-5 with their backup too. It's absolutely nuts.
My Ravens, if they win this week, they're right in.
There's been some, I think it was 8 or 9 starting currently. It's a force of the league. It's not good. The NFL's not going to trust it. But to my point, though, the Bills have a chance to win this division and cement themselves not only back in the playoff this year, but as a contender, with all these people out, they can get a spot. I think they've completely changed the narrative, but a loss here. Yeah, almost done.
Yeah, we're actually a team, and it's really interesting because they aren't afraid to watch. They're the same. Like actually pretty big. So most people, when society I think it doesn't turn to small or I actually think that's also that's a big thing. He hiccups in that
He just tries to do so much that it's almost, he's the reason they win and the reason they lose. And there's nobody else like that in the league. He's the reason to get them out of the hole, and he's the reason they can be in it. A lot of it is they do ask them for so much. It's wild. They need a complete new system. Whereas mine, they're needing a new a loss here, it might be a deal where they so that'll be play 4 for us at Bills +1.5. If you like this play as well, it is still +1 in some places. I got it now because I wouldn't be shocked if they end up as a favorite.
And two for the 6.2 players, this would be a great option for the 6. Get up to 7.
You can get up to 7 bucks on the teaser. I think if they lose, do not see Kansas City.
No, that's
I would completely agree. Our last play is disgusting.
one of our regulars of the year.
It's on a Monday night. Sean Roberts in the house, and that's not why we're picking this team. It's your play. After hearing you talk about it on Thursday, it just kind of kept going on me. So I'll let you start talking.
Yeah, we're taking the Giants +6.5 here. You know, yes, 1 year now is for sure type of game, but we are, and I've actually been, I could have been throughout the year, the middle part of the season, but a team that's catching for even certain spots to not link 6.5. Well, that's a huge inflation. You're paying a premium guy. There's never a little letdown spot. You know, people say, well, Giants are making they aren't. So, like, he knows what they want towards the
It's a really weird spot the Giants are in right now because Tyrod Taylor's going and he's going to be the backup quarterback. I don't know if they're taking him. I think Zach Jones. Since they really, they've all know. But I do think Green Bay is going to win this game. I don't think they're going to win by more than one.
Green Bay's style too, right? Like, if they do, let's just say, I think Green Bay's not built to hardly down pitches. So even if they do, it's probably because of some offensive strikes. But even if they do, the Giants are still alive. I just feel like
You're exactly right there. This could be a deal where the Green Bay controls the game, most of the game, but the Giants had the ball with 3 minutes to go, down by 10, and then go back. So I'm with you. This was when you said this live on Thursday. I came in with a gross face. What are you doing? And the more I thought about it, the more I just listened to the show. I like it. It's disgusting. It's gross. But that's kind of what we do.
Too, we talked about it before in terms of prime time. Folks, let's face it, right? Some of these favorites in the past weeks really become home and landslides. They need the dog. No one feels that. No. They need the dog to get it. Same situation.
Yeah. I mean, look, no part of me likes like it all. So it is what it is on that. So. We'll just kind of recap here again today. We've got a couple of minutes, but we got to get out of here. The Rams at plus 7.5, the Niners minus 11, Cowboys minus 3.5, Bills plus 1, the Giants plus 6.5. So we'll see. We are playing LVR circle plays. We're currently sitting at 38. Nothing means above 500, just below that 60% mark. We're right there. We're one of the long ways this week. We'll get the back And the weird part is that we've got more than the way where we just go to the run game before we got that lucky. We've been on the right side of it.
But we rarely actually
Besides our 5 years, why don't we just give one of our systems right here? You're looking out for.
So for me, it's not a homer pick here because I grab the team, but it is the Raiders. I used to be justified. I think that is just back. Remember, Raiders are favorite.
So one of these here too is my favorite play to use against me actually was I like the Saints on minus 5 against the Carolina. I just think there's so many problems with Carolina right now. There's such a and I see the Saints up to minus 6.5. But I'm at minus 5 on Circa. So the reason I say maybe stay away from there, I like it a lot better if you were in touchdown play. So I'll switch off a little bit and go to my team as well. Didn't want to. This feels like a trap. Why are the Broncos only 2.5 points? Why are they dogs? Why are they 2.5? It seems like a trap play. The Chargers are terrible. That's what they go to. We expect the Chargers to be better all the time. Maybe they're just. Yeah. The Broncos go and win this football game and get to 7-6 with all the injuries we just talked about. They definitely can get in the back end of the cross. They can do some things. Because these top teams we're talking about now are the Ravens, people get the points. You can get the in Miami, but the AFC seems to be a little bit wide open. The playoffs here are really fun. That'd be my team. So the Broncos are better. And that is, if you do look to us, that's not normal. So we will play those guys, and it's close to residents. That's all I really got here for that. Thanks for listening. If you're in the area, stop out to Revelton Distilling Company. It's a really cool place. We've got some really cool gifts. As always, I'm Teddy Small. Next to the ticket.
So where's Andrew? Andrew, you're up. Who's got this? Oh, good. So over there right here. Gives you that size. Well, I don't know. It seems that it had come to me. So someone will have to listen to your notes. And then I'm gonna slay your opening, and then I'll play the silence phone.
If I go live through Facebook, putting my votes, but I did.
Chris, let's go. I'm not from the background. I don't know. You can mess them up. Just put them on. Did you really?
All Three Beards Media podcasts originate from the Gravitate Coworking Studio, sponsored by Revelton Distilling Company.
All right, everybody, welcome in. This is Gravitate View. We've got Dave Larson from the Storm here. Drew Shipley is joining us. That's good. Drew, how are you doing today?
I can barely hear you, Andrew, but I'm doing great, man. Ready to rock and roll. I got my Three Beards Media shirt just in time, literally an hour ago. So I feel like I'm in place here.
Okay, well, we're gonna do our joint episode with Side of the Storm here as well. So I appreciate Dave. Thank you very much for joining us. How are you doing tonight, Dave?
It's my pleasure to be able to join us.
Yeah,
actually live and in charge here.
Yeah, this is great. This is a unique setup. We're having a really fun time here. I'm just trying to make Drew jealous.
Oh, and Drew, you should be jealous. It's Revelton Distilling. This is a great facility.
I will be there soon enough, Dave. I come home for Christmas here in a couple weeks. I'll have to make a trip down to Revelton myself.
Nice. So, in the holiday spirit, let's give our holiday wish list for our programs. So, Drew, I know you had the top transfer portal, offensive coordinator. So, Drew, I know you had a top 5 maybe for the transfer portal for Iowa. What do you really want for Iowa to get in the transfer?
Yeah.
So not need anybody that currently is on the Iowa State football roster. And I just make that clear right now. So Joe Rocco back, none of our running backs, no one from Iowa State, right?
All right, Dave. We won't take your talent. I'm going to take the talent, honestly, from Texas A&M is what I really want to do. Start with offensive tackle Chase Bizantis out of Don Bosco Prep in New Jersey. Iowa's been really incredibly successful in the state of New Jersey. Albert Young, Amir Smith-Marset, Akram Wadley, Mike Daniels, just to name a few guys. The Iowa offense desperately needs an anchor on the offensive line, and he's got 3 years remaining too, so he can grow with the current group in place. I only have 2 more, Andrew, so I'll just go ahead and knock them all out on my wish list now. Holden Stays, tight end out of Notre Dame. What better position to recruit, tight end you, right? Let's just assume that Eric All and Luke Lachey opt out for Sundays. The number 1 tight end in the portal, according to the 24/7, number 13 player overall. Needs a running partner with Addison Ostrenga, right? 6'4", big body guy. I would compare him to Noah Fant, Andrew, and he's got 2 years remaining. And then third, and then certainly not least, Donovan McCauley, receiver out of Indiana, caught 48 balls for 644 yards and 6 tutties this season for the Hoosiers. Another big body player, man, 6'5", 200 yards. 200 pounds. If you need a comp, Marvin McNutt is that guy, Andrew and Dave. Converted quarterback to receiver, explosive player, 13.4 yards per catch, and that's my wish list for the transfer portal.
Nice. I really like Stays and McCoy. Those are actually 2 guys that Iowa did recruit out of high school. I've heard McCoy might cost a lot more money. So I think we have a really good chance of holding Stays, but I don't know if we have a really good chance of not holding McCoy. One other wide receiver name I'll throw out there is Isaiah Nayor. He just transferred from Texas. He transferred from Wyoming last year and he's in the field in Texas. He's got 2 years remaining, I think. That's the kind of guy I might have to take a chance on as a guy who didn't really maybe make it in Texas and has to transfer around somewhere else. He could probably make it at Iowa. So I think you're spot on with the tight end, wide receiver. The other spot is linebacker. I'll look at linebacker and defensive back. So I think those are kind of and offensive line. So I think we nailed all positions. Dave, what does Iowa State need?
First, you're going to be surprised, but actually no surprise about that. Okay. Surprisingly, now, once here, because I really saw a lot of problems on the interior line, particularly on the offensive line. You're going after the wide receivers and linebackers, right? Because help type of positions they work, particular show weakness right now. What about the offensive line?
Yeah. I think they will go after an offensive lineman. I did kind of like the internal development from this year's guys. I know it wasn't great, and we talked about this in our last episode. It's still pretty bad. Yeah, I just don't know. I just don't know if there's clear. They're not going to bring guys in just to bring guys in. Yeah. So I think tight end and wide receiver, linebacker, defensive back, depending on who stays and who goes, are probably more immediate needs than offensive. If they need offensive line, I agree, but they're going to use the transfer portal to meet their immediate needs.
Well, and I see that though is you've got a quarterback that is already showing propensity for injury. Both when he was at Michigan and now Ohio.
Yeah.
You've got to keep him upright. You have to keep him healthy first.
Yeah.
And keeping that quarterback healthy then opens up the running game, and you've got to be able to run the ball with Big Ten.
True.
So I actually see the tight end position in Iowa as a strength. But, I mean, you're a fourth and fifth tight end at this point in the season, and they're doing it really well.
Yeah,
They're doing a pretty good job. Those guys back. I think you're in a pretty good spot. It's not like
Hey, Dave, I think we should have you more often because I think you're spot on. So, Drew, anything before we move to the Iowa State side for transfer portal wish list?
No, man, I can barely hear you. I'm trying to make out the best I can, fellas. I'm again, you're right, Dave. I'm jealous that I'm not there.
Oh, shit. Okay. Drew, we're going to flip to Iowa State transfer portal wish list. So, Dave, give us your wish list in Cyclones.
So my wish list is pretty simple. It's J.E. Pollard. Now, that's not just because we're having him as a guest this Monday night on our In the Side of the Storm episode, but also because of all of the things that he has done in his program during his tenure. I mean, you look at all the infrastructure changes, the stadium enclosure, the billboards that he came out with that were sitting right in the University of Iowa's backyard when he first started. You look at the uniform changes, right or wrong, they created this culture within all the athletic departments or all the athletic teams that just transformed the Iowa State from being this lower tier little brother to, I mean, they're quite predominant, right or wrong, with the University of Iowa. And you could not have necessarily said that 30 years ago. And I've got a lot of gray hair that shows that I've been watching this program for a number of years, and they were horrendous. We could not hold our own in the Big 8, much less the Big 12, much less the next iteration of the conference structure. And I know Janie's at a point where he's probably thinking about what retirement might look like in the next 10 years, but I want to bottle him up and keep him for the next 30 years because of what he's done. We've got Sci-Town coming to town that my understanding is that it's parking lot to be finished by the next football season. We really don't see maybe one of the new buildings up by that next year. And I think that's going to transform. It's been to Title Town in Green Bay. We've been to the market down in Kansas City, the Power Light District of Kansas City. It's going to have feels of that, and I think it's just going to transform the Inns community and the atmosphere around both football and basketball. And I think a lot of sports programs that I would fit. So my wish list is very simple. It's to keep J.E. Pollard around as long as possible.
Yeah, I think that's a good wish list for an Iowa State fan. Anything else you get? Anything else you want as an Iowa State fan this holiday season?
You know, I think part of it is I'm sure like you guys, I'm worried about NIL. You know, I think that that's going to be something that we will all be keeping an eye on. I think it's going to be very fast, particularly in the next 2 years. We've already seen a very significant shift in conference realignment, and my concern is what is that going to look like in 2 years from an NIL perspective. You know, next year we go to a 12-team football playoff, and a lot of those teams that would have been in the playoffs haven't been at the 12-team structure this year. They've got quarterbacks that are shuffling and moving and entering the transfer. How's that going to look next year?
Yeah.
When those teams are going to be preparing for what that they're going to be preparing for the playoffs, and you're going to have players that are moving around from team to team. Really curious how that's going to affect the next year. pushing in and straightening out. The NCAA is working on different payment rules, and all players going to be paid just $25,000, $30,000, or they're certain thresholds. And financial players have to be paid now. What is that going to look like? Are you going to have some positions receiving, oh my goodness, starting quarterback is going to receive $250 million. You're an offensive lineman who's a backup, you receive $10,000. How is that going to look? This is just absolutely crazy. At least in the NFL or any other major sport, you have a salary cap.
Yeah.
And you can't go above that salary cap, although you can, and it's taxing and that sort of thing. This is just abnormal, crazy shit you did when it comes to college athletics. I never thought I would see it happen, but here it is, and it's just stripped away everything that you wanted to see and felt about the college atmosphere. It's really left the floor piece right now. I'm curious how that's going to shift over the next couple of years.
Yeah, the notion of amortizing in college sports, it's not a thing. Right? This ends with basically athletes becoming employees of the university. And they're going to get paid like employees get paid. And I don't know if there's going to be minimums or what, like you're saying. But yeah, it's going to be like, it's not going to be like across the board. Again, will there be salary cap? I don't know. The next 2 years, like you said, it's going to be the Wild West on speed, basically. So we've already seen a lot of changes, but I think the whole entire landscape is going to change.
You know, one thing about college is watching these walk-off kickers. I mean, he's kicking a game-winning field goal, and then he's taking it to the hospital right afterwards. The coach announces, "You've earned a college scholarship." You know, something here is out in that situation that all that remains within college. There is a level of benefits that hoping for change. It doesn't mean that it's going to be
No, I don't. So, your thoughts?
Yeah. I actually wanted to ask Dave a specific question about how the NIL picture kind of shapes out in the future. You know, the NCAA president came out kind of semi-breaking news last week about laying some groundwork for universities to start compensating directly to the athletes at schools, right? You know, kind of establishing that salary cap concept that I think we brought up on our very first episode, Andrew, of NIL and whatnot, what that looks like going forward. That could change the NIL collectives as a whole, kind of alleviating the pressure for them to raise so much money to pay the players. When it sounds like the president's initiative is to finally allow the schools to do that in a salary cap manner, which I think is probably the more appropriate approach for schools that claim to be not for profit, you know, collecting hundreds of millions of dollars a year on attendance and TV deals, to then, you know, now it's just an arms race for salary or for facilities and whatnot. So I'm kind of curious as to what Dave thinks about that changing landscape portion as well. A lot potentially allowing the schools themselves to compensate athletes in a salary cap manner.
Yeah, I'll toss it over to Dave. Dave, your thoughts? Your closing thoughts here?
So, a little bit of delay, so I'm just now doing the individual response to this question. You know, after the day, I think the concern again, one of the things that is interesting to say, at least if you had the NCAA, which, let's be honest, they're a joke. And they have been for years. And that's where the problem is, why would you give them because they would not go to regulate anything. And it's become one of them. And now we're trying to step up, you know, self-regulate. You know, basically, you see college universities break back from that's what very simple in the next 2 years. I think we need to make big push.
Yeah, so enjoy your holiday season. I appreciate all the fans of both Outside View and Side Storm. Appreciate Chris, Revelton for this full event. Been awesome. Thank you for sticking with us. Appreciate all of you. Thank you. Have a great day.
Go Army, beat Navy.
Go Hawkeyes.
Why take the best corn in the world and make it into fuel when you could make it into whiskey? That's the question that launched Revelton, Iowa's most visible and fastest growing distillery. Owners Rob and Christy Taylor embrace the grain-to-glass philosophy, sourcing ingredients locally and overseeing on-premises production and bottling at their facility in Osceola. One sip, and you'll agree that Revelton's handcrafted whiskeys, gins, and vodkas are the best you've ever tasted. And with the launch of their rye whiskey, made with 100% Iowa-grown rye and corn, and their new bourbon coming soon, there's more Revelton to love than ever. Iowa's own Revelton Distillery. ReveltonDistillery.com. The great thing about working from home is working from home. The worst thing?
Just talk. I know, right? Just let us know when you're live. Yeah, you're live. Play the openings for false starts.
All Three Beards Media podcasts originate from the Gravitate Coworking Studio, sponsored by Revelton Distilling Company.
We are back. This time we are with full starts. We've got Revelton Distilling Company. We brought the Gravitate Coworking Studios on the road. We got all kinds of raffle prizes. People are drinking. It's loud in here. I just got to ask Bill, how much of a chub would you have if you won that ticket? Yeah.
Big one. Here's the thing, like, I've gone my entire adult
Yeah.
But
no, I'm the same way.
I still want Brock Purdy to break his leg, but George Kittle all day.
See, no, I knew I was going to say it. I love George Kittle.
And that's great. And that's the difference between you. We've already
established it. Right. I'm with you. I got it. So,
I'm talking about, like, it goes into our whole mental health. I mean, talk about it before.
Yeah.
How, that behavior got rewarded.
Right.
Yeah. Whereas if I was losing, I wanted to fight the other team, and my coaches loved me.
Right.
And in adulthood, you can't be like that. Especially when you're like,
unless you're on Twitter.
So, like, if I'm at an Iowa and they're losing, like,
yeah.
And like, I don't know how to fix that.
Right.
I mean, at this point, I feel like I just have to embrace it and just make sure that my surroundings are safe.
Well, you may or may not things.
I know. And it's safe.
You're safe there. Right. No,
if I'm surrounded by Michigan fans in Indianapolis,
didn't stop you. Is that how you got that black? Is that how you got that black?
No, that's not how I got that black.
I feel you though on the Kittle jersey. I was a Bears fan. I'm a Bears fan.
Yeah.
And seeing Lazar in a Packers jersey was really fucking hard. It was really hard.
See, you're probably like me. You, as an Iowa State fan your whole life, you didn't. I mean, frankly, you didn't get to see a lot of NFL players come from the league. And now that they're starting to put some guys in there, you can see where your loyalty really is.
Right. Yeah.
Because I could give a shit if the Cowboys lose every game of their life.
Yeah.
If Iowa was going to win every game.
Yeah, we talked. If I was listen,
and you're probably seeing that.
I mean, I don't really have much to give up as a Bears fan. They suck already.
Right now.
Right, but if somebody told me that the Bears would suck for 20 years, but Iowa State would win a national championship, I'd fucking sign up in a heartbeat. It's not like I haven't suffered for 15 already.
Well, and here's I'll even add to that. You can tell me that I can't even wear college shit.
Yeah.
But I can't even wear it.
Right. Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I still know they won. I still
I'm 100% with that. I remember when David Montgomery got drafted by the Bears, and I was like, it was the happiest fucking night of my entire life because we never drafted it.
Yeah, fuck this rookie.
Right. And I was like, forget the wedding with Stacy. Forget it. This was the greatest night of my life. And then when he signed with the Lions, that wasn't even so bad. But then out the door when he says, I wanted to sign with a team that's going to win. Like, why don't you just cut us up while you're out the fucking door?
You just graduated from a team that didn't win. What do you care?
I'm like, it's the Lions, dude.
It's like, dude, you just came from school.
We're going to a bowl game. I'm going to my first bowl game.
Are you going?
I'm going to Liberty Bowl with my buddy Dave. It's in Memphis. So, yeah, so it'll be a fun time. I went, crazy enough, my first ever bowl game was an Iowa game. I went to the Iowa-Wyoming Bowl.
Oh, really?
And it was in 1987. And I would think I was like 16. I went with my dad's best friend who grew up in a Columbus company. My dad worked there. His oldest son was like 19. But the ex-wife and then that guy's mom lived in San Diego. So he grew up in San Diego. So he bought us a whole package ticket. The caveat was we had to go down to Phoenix and drive the truck back. Anyways, I'm 16. I'm staying in the Hotel Del Coronado, a famous hotel in San Diego. And they're selling all kinds of merchandise. The seat with the Iowa Rock. Yeah, it was January. I'm from Iowa. I'm from sports. I walk all over the fucking place in Iowa. I walk into my room and Dennis goes, I don't fucking know. He's like, dude, those are fucking shirts. He's like, please tell me you didn't wear those all over the fucking place. I've been wearing them all fucking day. I was 16, 1987.
You know what?
I was like 9. I was 16. I didn't know what boxing
That was perfectly acceptable because I know things were immense. Back then, you didn't wear boxer shorts or tight and wide. Boxer shorts were like,
which is why I didn't remember
the sports stores that broke them off. Sports page for them.
Finish line.
And I remember they had a man, I was up to 1987.
Yeah.
The age was good. A full day.
Yeah.
They had boxer shorts that just had the logo all over them.
Yeah.
They were white.
That's exactly what they were.
And then an old t-shirt. Yeah. And then they had biker shorts under.
Yeah.
So it was like an in style thing.
Right? Yeah. Well, there you go. Who knew I was stylish? The one time in my life.
I mean, you probably had to buy white.
I did. I did biker shorts.
So that little hole opened up.
Right, yeah. But man, I was the
Double spot.
whole time after that, I was like, I can't believe like people would love this. Now I look back and watching me like, what the fuck is that kid doing?
This has got to be. It's really hard to resist, like singing some Hall & Oates right now. I feel like we should do some two-part harmony. Like we should actually sit back to back. Just go on.
You know, if we're singing, well, I'll bring Caitlin up here. I don't have a voice for that. It's so funny. You know, it's funny because when I went to the Rose Bowl, I was in Vegas with my dad and that same guy when Ronnie
Oh, God.
And I remember I was sitting in a sports bar. I was 15. I was with my dad and this guy. And we watched the Rose Bowl in this sports bar. And man,
So, were you actually Iowa fan at that time?
I was. I grew up when I was all high school.
So you went to
Went to actually, and I didn't really like Iowa. That's kind of the reason why I did it.
Because you grew up in Iowa.
I grew up loving Chuck Long, worshiping Chuck.
There's probably a lot of Iowa State fans that grew up in Iowa State. It's because back well, people that are around our age back then, Iowa State was nothing.
And they were never on TV. Right.
Yeah.
Which is funny, if you go back and listen to the last Civil War. Keith Strachan was on. Played for Donnie Duncan, played for Jim Friner, and was a GA. And he will tell you, Jim Friner was the person who brought that to he came in and he basically knew me. He was a complete fucking asshole. He brought in
when he was paying people on the table, straight up. He said, and he brought in so many jobs. It was fucking ridiculous. And he pretty much told me, I'm not guaranteeing it. And he was paying people on the table. He would treat people like shit. He's like, nobody wants to play
So he was Dion before Dion?
He was, yeah. He's like, but nobody wants to play football.
He was Dion with the same cause, except nobody cared.
He said that 3 years before Prime came in, we kicked the shit out of Ryan so fucking bad. He said it's no wonder that they turned around and told him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was an interesting.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it's weird. I mean, the history of anything. I mean, just like Jack Price was in.
Yeah.
Only in the last, I don't know, 5 to 10 years have I even known. I remember the stadium being named Jack Price Stadium. I had no idea the story. I had no idea.
Growing up in a special place like that.
Yeah.
I think that. I mean, people hate him because on the Iowa State side, it's kind of his job.
Yeah.
He was fighting for those internal.
Absolutely.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
That's exactly what I'm saying. I don't do that with, I like both teams.
Yes.
No, you don't. We fight for the best players.
That's why you're like, I know.
No, I want you to suck.
That's like last year when everybody was like, oh, I really like Clayton Park. And somebody on the team was like, no, fuck.
Yeah.
Get it? Like, I can have respect for the but one day out of the year, I want to root for her to fucking just go down.
Well, you watch guys. Like I watched the Iowa State basketball.
Yeah.
And of course, I got people trying to pick fights with me.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, the refs were garbage.
Right.
But it didn't matter. Like, I mean, the first 10 minutes of the game, like,
yeah.
I remember Iowa State getting like 3 and 1s in a row, and 2 of them were just complete fans of the fucking foul. And Iowa State's the aggressive defense.
Yes.
Like, what the fuck is this foul?
Right.
It was like 7-0 or something.
Yeah.
What the fuck? But it didn't matter.
Right.
And I said that.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so everybody expects me to bag on the head.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bag on the head. Yeah. Right? So I said the rest was garbage, and they were.
Right.
But it didn't matter because Iowa State was way better.
Yeah.
So you can watch that basketball game.
Yes.
And if you've got a brain in your head, you can see that Iowa State's basketball team is way better than our basketball team. Like it's night and day.
Well, in the last 4 years, it's been a blowout on both sides.
Right. And now these guys, like Iowa's got some young players that I like. I like these freshmen from Moline, Harding, and Freeman.
Yeah.
I really like them. They're gonna get better. And to be honest, basically every year since leaving, I thought they were gonna be terrible.
Yeah.
And they surprised the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Even Lucas Senior, I didn't think they were.
Yeah.
So consistently, they're better than them.
Right.
But if you look at that game, it is very clear that Iowa State is much better athletes.
Yeah.
And what is going on with them?
Can they survive the Big 12? Because that's a gauntlet. Yeah. But we'll wrap up here. But I got to tell you, talking about Hayden.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Bonnie Hook was known to be.
I have
you heard this story?
Go ahead.
So, Hayden Fried next to the third son. Bonnie Hook is Hayden. And all Hayden said was he looked at the guys and said, "You come to Iowa, I'll make you." It's so fucking great. It's my favorite story.
I knew a story about a buddy of mine was peeing the next day.
Yeah.
And he had just gotten done. He had just beaten the prostate cancer or whatever.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, I used to just dribble or whatever. Now I can piss right over the top of that wall."
All right, guys, we are out. We're going to bring on bitter units. We're going to bring JT and Chrissy Taylor, one of the co-owners of Revelton Distilling Company. Seriously, you guys got to come down. Check out Revelton Distilling Company.
Yeah, it's very
1400 West Cool Street. And we'll give a shout out Kyle Lehman, We Trust Mortgage, and Gravitate Coworking are great sponsors that are able to allow us to do this. So we'll be right back, and we're going to bring on bitter units. That's right, win that Kittle jersey.
right, JT, you don't have to put those on.
Okay.
I'll just point you when you're live, all right?
Okay.
All Three Beards Media podcasts originate from the Gravitate Coworking Studio, sponsored by Revelton Distilling Company.
All right. JT with Bigger Years here with Christy, and I am drinking a delicious old fashioned here. Had the whiskey smash earlier. They've always been a great sponsor for us here at Three Beards Media. Kind of talk about what you got going on in Revelton right now. You're on the clock, so you can have it. What would you be drinking right now if you could have? What are some of your favorite drinks that you have? If your drinks are amazing. Yep. I was going to say, because I had the whiskey smash. I don't like to smoke whiskeys. I'm not a beer. I like beer. Trying to extend my price. You guys have some stuff that's full, crushable, as some people would say. So, yeah. It pretty much is. Like, I didn't know what to expect, but yeah, then it came out. Then I got packed it out. Yeah. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. You guys got anything special coming up? Obviously, we got a great brownie here today. We're smashing. Festivities, I think in we did another event here that was not updated like this is, but I remember you guys had just completed that. I understand what was amazing. I haven't seen that one. Okay. Look at any of your if you can get her. Miami's okay. Good. That's the thing, I think we're on the same level. So I didn't make other things like the trial especially like school. I honestly think that it's like I don't know that everything's yeah. Not only are you supporting yourself, you're also supporting American East Pharmacy. This place is so cool. Not going from Des Moines to Ames. Yes, pretty much the same trip, maybe a few miles longer, but I mean, it's easy got down from Des Moines to Central Iowa. I mean, if you're a casino person, it's a place right across the way. You come here, can't do much to drink. Right across the way is a casino, you can probably get a cheap hotel. So, yeah. But no, I mean, this is what you can Okay. Nice. Yeah. And you know what? That's a good idea if you're going to do some, sign for Christmas parties or celebrations. I mean, like legit come down here. Like, where were you at? You need to do it. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, go out to a bar, doing change the cost. That's the best part. I did that. We did that when we were here. And the tour gets ended up behind the shot. That's what he looked like. He had one doggy down there. Yeah. Yeah, if you started barking at that, it's weird. Just doing her job. No, it's you have to get through you guys to take the full make stuff for you. That's neat. Okay. Sorry. That's a good problem to have. Yeah, so, okay. Yeah, so that's awesome. Yeah. Thanks. It is like this place is awesome. Well, I didn't know what, like it's a Saturday and it's kind of nuts. It's holiday season, so people maybe don't want to come out, but probably got 30, 40 people. Merch, also Revelton shopping, which is I don't know if anyone else makes it. Okay. Okay. What was the inspiration? Okay. Where are we at? Is it? Yeah, there's a mistake you didn't see. It's not really a mistake, but it's really an accent, like something that was just unexpected. That's good. That's like we talk in our podcast before, sometimes it's not, sometimes it's just reasonable. Considering how many things they got, that's impressive. Okay. Yeah, there's people who don't understand legal stuff. Yeah, dealing with states. That takes a perfect. Minnesota. There are travelers. A lot of breweries like to get travelers. But there's a different. That's good. And all that, but once again, directly, it's just makes small business have more headaches. But you know what? The headaches do is so maybe it's just simple. So yeah. You don't want to be under problems like that. So. Well, hopefully you guys will be bring that back and probably get to another one soon. Obviously, Wisconsin will be a great spot to get yours. No state drinks more alcohol than Wisconsin, I don't think. And I'm not thinking that Wisconsin is my favorite state. I know that's a trillion. They are really good folks. And that's good food. That's once again. Okay. We're wrapping up for that. Once we get done here, yeah, should be great. We can do that. There we go. So, we appreciate how you support us for all these years. People come down and support Revelton. Might actually local stores. Maybe you come down to Ophel and check out this amazing space. Have a good time and looking forward for your holiday event or New Year's. Okay. So, I'm JT from and from the bitter units. We have another thing we're working on that. We'll be back soon. Hopefully, get around on the link. Appreciate you coming out and everyone have a happy holiday weekend. Okay, we're good. How do you see it on the other side of production? That's fun.
You betcha.
That's all right. Okay, everybody, we're going to wrap up here with the live recording. We're going to announce our winners for our auction items. And again, I'm just gonna point out how damn proud I am of everybody that's involved with Three Beards Media, and especially our sponsors, Rob and Christy at Revelton Distilling Company, Kyle Wayman at Winterest Movement, and Jefferson's crew at Gravitate Coworking. So with that, we hope you guys enjoyed this live stream, and we are out of here.
Hey everybody, it's Steph Copley, the woman behind the STFU segment on the Old Man Strength podcast. When I told the guys I wanted to sponsor this segment, they recommended that I make a charitable donation instead, so that's what I did. I chose the Young Women's Resource Center in Des Moines, Iowa. They're a nonprofit that supports, educates, and advocates for girls and young women ages 10 to 24. Their whole goal is to make sure that these young women become strong, self-confident, and successful. And if you know me at all, you know that